For 150 years, this was the promise of school. Follow our curriculum, earn the qualification, and you will be prepared for the world of work. This promise is broken, it's not happening, and it's clear to everybody. We can see that the demand of the work environment doesn't match what is the output of the schools. And what if the solution is not an update curriculum? What if AI is the meteor that is going to destroy the age of the industrial education? Today we're going to look into this, but also we're going to look into the blueprint for the future of education. But we need to accept, admit that the old education system is over. A few days ago, I was on the LinkedIn and I found out about this blog post that were talking about the future of the PhD of the future. So how it looks like, what should be like, and how it should work. And in somehow they were kind of caged into find a solution, but without changing this obsession that they had about the final product, the final artifact, which is the diploma, the grade, the thesis. So this it goes on the expense of the journey, of the resilience of the process, which is for me is the most important part. Okay, the journey of learning, how the student adapt and create is the most important one. Is where we can assess the real value of that person, that individual. And this is become even more clear if you put AI in this mix, because we know that AI is amazing and is getting even better and better to create those artifacts. So measuring the artifacts is completely become less and less useful, and it's going to be in a few years, if not months, completely useless. You cannot measure from the artifact the quality of the knowledge of the students, but not even just the knowledge, the ability to work and be part and be a positive part of the society. So this is what I noticed, but this is not just part of the high level university. This is the evidence that the system is bigger and is present everywhere. So I want to say that this is not a theory, it's not my coming up because I read this LinkedIn. But in my past, I've always been for the last 30 years on and off inside the education. Always, I'm a practitioner, so I'm someone that produce and do things and work. But then every now and then I would share my knowledge inside the different level of education. This is to say that I experiment and try a lot of different solutions. I create also my called the evolved model to implement AI into this education, but there will always been a problem. Okay, it's like I have this amazing new software method, whatever you want to call it, which goes into an old operation system, so at this old environment of school, and there is this incompatibility because the school cannot support. It's like this operation system of the old school cannot support this modern software, this modern way of working. And that is it's been my frustration for many years, and it's like having a tool, this method, but not be able to apply fully and properly. Hopefully AI is gonna force those schools to change and look into a completely different approach, a more approach that is not connected to this industrialization age of education. So now what we have is the knowledge is free. AI can teach you almost everything. We have YouTube that we can find amazing knowledge and information. So there is a shift. So it's not about knowledge anymore, but it's more about the mind that can actually operate within the unknown, within this challenging new world. So what is the solution? How can we fix this? To me, it's we need to do a shift, which is instead of blocking students from using AI and latest technology, we need to implement them much more deeply, because this can give us an optimization of the learning of what I call the old curriculum. Okay, which is still remain really important. Okay, literacy and numeracy is extremely important. It's not like you don't need to learn, but what we can do by using AI, we can accelerate the learning. And how this acceleration works is by optimization. So we know already that a one-to-one tutoring, it's improve the knowledge of the student and get really fast. It gets fast because you can see the knowledge gap for each individual and create a custom specific exercise for that individual. So those exercises can work in different way, okay? Because it can be a story that the person read, a game, can be an exercise to do with other students as well. So this can be optimized by the system. So my system that I was talking about is evolved model. It works in a way that each student get kind of profiled by this AI and see what the different learning they are needed. Okay, what is possible to create is one group single experience where they can work together and each one can leverage their skills and abilities, but also each one are going to learn from the missing knowledge that they have. So they will work together in by achieving the individual goals. This is possible because we have optimized through one-to-one working with AI, and then we save time, and therefore we have more time to other kind of activities. These activities and this optimization change, of course, from different level of education. So, for example, in the primary school, we can optimize on literacy, but we can then give them real world curiosity. This curiosity is what is we need to embed all over the process of the different age group. Because what's happening is, if you think about those young kids, when they start, they have a lot of questions. They're curious, they want to learn, they want to understand things, and so on. So they are really focused on asking questions so they can collect knowledge. Okay, and that is the key process. You're curious, you learn. Okay, you go inside the school and everything shifts. They don't focus on your curiosity, they focus on the knowledge acquisition, which is a different goal. So basically, you need those knowledge so you can pass the year. So having the right answer is what is recognized as a high value asset to have into the school. And that means you're not asking questions, you're giving answers. So your focus is in reminding, in memorizing those answers. Which the answer, this process is not connected to actually a clever, intelligent process where you find the answer. No, you get the answer, you need to memorize it. You can understand you can understand that this is a massive problem, and it's a problem that is not being addressed for many years, and is a problem that now we need to face. We need to bring back curiosity, and at different age we work with different level of curiosity. So when they're young, it's really about learning about the real world, okay, understanding how things work in the reality. uh, so I created a blog post about this, and there is all the description for the different level of education, and explain this process in details. Also gonna link to my evolved method so you can look at it and understand in more details. But I got here a few notes about the secondary school, but you still optimize knowledge, but you add and apply the resilience. So the goal here is shift a little bit, where you need to create resilience of the process. Think about this. What we need to be prepared for a future that we don't know about is to be able to work in this uncertainty. And the uncertainty is something that is completely not addressed by school, because it's all about certainty. This is what you need to learn. This is the curriculum. This is how the exam works. This is the question I'm gonna ask. This is the method. Everything is clear. Okay, lay down and pretend to be how you call it, honest, and because everybody is get treated the same. Okay, we need to scrap this, because that is, we are not all the same, we're all different, and we don't need that kind of skills anymore, because we can prompt AI and we have the answer. Okay, the artifact can be created amazingly today by the AI if you know how to prompt it, of course. So it is about the process. So we need to fortify and create resilience in this process. And the process, it is about working within some constraints, but working also in the unknown. This is it's really tasking challenge to give to the students, because they are not prepared at the moment in this way. But through the help of AI and through the change of goal, this is completely possible. So instead of asking the students to tell me how, I don't know, some numbers or whatever history they have in mind, okay, instead of give me facts, create a project, create a business, do a startup. Okay, or even better, which I'm gonna link this in the description below, is start a 90-day, basically a 3 months pop-up business. So you put the students together and they have this, create this pop-up business. The pop-up business means find the idea, create some marketing, create a product, a service, or an event, whatever it is, and then try to make it happen. You can make money, you can go give to charity, you can use the money to finance another project, and so on. So this is create the, what is this, they call it the artifact, but in reality what is creating is the process, and improving the process is what makes the students resilient. This is my suggestion. So it is about changing a lot, but not destroying what we know it works. We need to optimize it, and we can optimize it with the inclusion of AI. We need to teach and those young minds how to use AI in a way that is empowering them, that makes them think, they give more tools to navigate the process. Because at the moment what we have are students that they need to create an artifact, they create the AI to create the artifact for them, and they have an artifact that is amazing and is gonna pass basically the exam. From the teacher point of view, they can see that the artifact is in somehow too good to be true, but they have no evidence, they're not proof, there's no way to prove it that the artifact was not created by AI. So frustration by the teacher, because they have no tools to help the students to improve. They have no proof to evidence to prove that the artifact is AI generated. Therefore, they are stuck there with a lot of frustration, and all is needed is change. Forget about the artifact. Okay, show me the process. I want to see the intelligence of these young people applied. And intelligence is critical intelligence, creative intelligence, emotional intelligence. You can create, thanks for the AI, custom exercise for individual groups, and the beauty of this is that you can mix and match a lot of different diversity, because AI can, through this evolved method, can actually profile everyone, and you can put people of different age group, of different background, with different skills, with different language knowledge, and they can create one single product, let's say, or experiment, or pop-up business. They can leverage on each other strengths. This help them with basically, think about the group, a diverse group like this. What do you learn is that diversity is an asset, first of all, which we need in this moment in history. You learn that is you have value because of your diversity, because of your unique skills and abilities. But also you understand that a bigger project cannot be achieved by one single person. You need a group of people. And then you also interact with reality and you understand the value of what you're doing within the reality, the reaction of the community, the reaction of the outside world. And then you have AI that measure and track every single individual action, every single asset I created, every single feedback generated, and therefore create data-driven artifacts you can use to see how to improve. What's the next step? How can we improve the business ideas, the project, and so on, but also the learning of each individual? This is what I suggest we should do, and I can see that in somehow it's for some school sounds like impossible. For others, is the answer to their question. Please like and subscribe. Check the link below because there is going to be a lot of information that I want to share with you. And see you next time. Ciao.